right, guys, I am Mr. Bitter, and today we're sitting down with Robert Ohlen, CEO of DreamHack. Robert, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today.
It's a pleasure. It's fun to talk to everybody around this nice little globe of ours that is the esport world, and we're one big happy family.
We are, man. We absolutely are. I've just got a couple quick questions for you, and then we'll let you get out of here. I know it's getting a little late over there. First up, DreamHack is constantly showing some of the most spectacular events in all of Europe, and you've single-handedly turned Sweden into one of the largest esports hub on the planet. What's your secret to building such a successful esports brand?
That's a good question. If we knew it, we could sell it and become really, really rich. No, it's I think it has to do with passion and tenacity. We DreamHack as the festival, as the phenomena was born in 1994. So the whole the foundation, the culture of DreamHack has been there for a long time. But it's not until the last, say, 6 years, and especially the last 18 to 24 months, that we really, it's StarCraft 2. It's the second golden age of esports. The first one was back in 2003, 2004, I think.
With Quake and Counter-Strike?
Yeah. Pardon?
Or
yeah, Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
The whole the CPL era, if you will. And this is the second coming of, and the reason why it's so, it's really taking off is because for the first time in history, esport has the perfect media, which is streaming, live streaming,
right.
Which didn't, back in the days, you try to, force esports into regular TV, and it just didn't work.
All right, man. Well, you kind of talked about it a little bit. DreamHack sort of started out as being a big LAN party, but in recent years, we've been seeing more and more of a shift towards being a major tournament organizer. What has prompted that, and can we expect to see more of that in the future? Yeah,
DreamHack, from the very first, it was the demo scene. People doing cool shit, presenting graphics, music, and all that. But it evolved. So let's say from 2002, 2001, there was more and more esports, but it was basically BYOC tournaments made by the volunteer crew themselves. But from 2004, 2005, every major tournament in the world came to DreamHack, because it was a perfect platform, because they had 10,000 people already there interested in esports. So we had CPL, WSVG, ESWC, ESL, any arbitrary combination of letters has at DreamHack and presenting their esport tournaments, because that was content for us as well. And it's part of our culture or philosophy that we don't build walls.
Right.
If you want to come, you can come. You just have to, pay your dues and you can come. So we don't see other tournaments as, God damn, I'm so tired. We don't see other tournaments as competitors.
Right.
It's more that they add stuff to DreamHack when they come.
That's awesome, man.
But from let's say 2006, we decided to move the esports part into a separate hall in Elmia, where we have our major festivals. And basically from 2006 up to this date, we've just been, evolving. And, we made every mistake there is in the book. But, I hope we're smart and we learn and we fine tune everything. So we have an obligation to our audience, not only at DreamHack the festivals, but those who watch our online tournaments, to provide an even better show and esport extravaganza every time.
That's great, man. Well, just to kind of build on what you were saying, over the past 2 years, we've been seeing a little bit of expansion out of DreamHack. Is there going to be more of that? Are y'all going to continue doing more events, or is there going to be a point where you just say, all right, this is it? This is what we're going to do, and we're going to keep doing it just like this from now on?
Thing is, the main hubs, which are the year rotates around for DreamHack, is the main festivals, DreamHack Summer and DreamHack Winter. However, we decided this is actually quite a few years ago, that you can't have like the Olympics or a Woodstock every other month. It's kind of boring. The only thing that we realized that we could like expand, take on the road, and do more stuff with was the esport tournaments, and that is what we did. Our first try was last year with the DreamHack Invitational, and we took the lessons learned from that and evolved it into the open format that we have now. This year we unfortunately only got one game, that is StarCraft 2, but we have other games for 2013 and 2014. And this year we're in Stockholm, of course, Jönköping twice because of the summer festivals, and then Valencia and Bucharest in Europe. And next year we will expand to one, maybe two or three, depending on how everything works out. But we see that there is a need for Europe is a bit fragmented when it comes to esports. There's not one, like a continental overgrasping esport league.
Right.
And that is what we're trying to do. We do the same thing in Sweden with a Swedish championship. So we use the Swedish championship basically as our laboratory and try out stuff in smaller scale. But our goal or hope is to have something happening every, a tournament that is a stop or qualification for the finals in November, every 30 to maybe 60 days, depending on the schedule and all that. So that's what we're aiming at. And our strength is offline tournaments and events, and that's what that's what we put 95% of our strength in, even though we have online qualifiers. But that is not something we have that we use. We're not NASL or we're not GSL or something like that. We're DreamHack. We do
right.
Different, but good.
Well, speaking of those offline events that you are so well known for, what's the next big one that we can expect to see out of you guys?
Well, it's not ours, but we're happy mercenaries. In a month, we're gonna do the World. Let me remember it right now. The Blizzard World Championship Series.
There you go, right? WCS.
The Nordic Finals, which will be held at the same venue as we had the Stockholm Open a couple of months ago. And it's going to be awesome. It's going to be all the Nordic countries except Iceland, which I saw on Reddit. They were really sad that they weren't able to be a part of the Nordics, but we're just hired guns, man. We do what Blizzard says.
Don't we all, man, at the end of the day.
After that, have like maybe 30 to 45 days of rest.
Yeah.
It hasn't been announced yet, but we're going to do the European Continentals for or World Championship Series as well in September. And then after that, it's Valencia. And then October, it's Bucharest. And then in November, DreamHack Winter with Grand Finals and a big hoopla.
Can't wait for that one, Robert. Let's just step back a little bit, and I've got a couple of general questions about esports for you. And the first one, and I think the most important one, is what has to happen for the continued growth of StarCraft 2 and for the continued growth of esports as a whole?
Well, StarCraft 2 in particular is, people have to continue playing it and feeling it's a competitive game. Look at Counter-Strike. It just turned 13. It's sadly now on its deathbed, but it took 13 years for Counter-Strike, an FPS game, to, at least here in Europe, to die. StarCraft 1 was almost like 10 years or 11 years as well before it finally kicked the bucket with StarCraft 2. So it has to do. The secret of making an esports game is really, really difficult, because a lot of, especially now when the big esport bandwagon is going, everybody and your aunt is releasing esport titles. It's not until after you release the game that it's a proper esports game.
Right.
maybe you can like add features to a game to make it esportsy, but it's up to the gamers and the community themselves to decide what is an esports title or not. And the same thing is for StarCraft 2. As long as Blizzard delivers a good enough product for the community and the gamers, it's going to be an awesome esports game. And I think it's actually the best esports game that we have to date. It can happen. Things change every time, all the time. You never know. But I feel that StarCraft 2 is a gentleman's esports game.
I don't think I've ever heard it put that way, but I love it. Robert, my final question for you is, how much bigger do you see esports getting? Like, where does it all stop, or does it stop? Is it just going to keep growing and growing forever?
That's also a really good question, because if you take gaming as a whole, which esports is a part of, it is huge.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bigger industry than Hollywood, and it's a bigger industry than the music business. However, esports is like the tip of the iceberg. We have the casual gamers and the moms and dads and aunts who play Facebook games and all that. The challenge for the esport industry is try to push this tip of the iceberg further down into the pyramid, closer to the casual gamers, and I think that will happen. DreamHack has been around since 1994. We're not going away, but we don't have, we're not in a hurry either. We know this is, this growth has been going on since basically when Quake came out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, during the last 24 months, it's got a real huge, push upwards because of the combination of StarCraft 2 initially, and then the streaming. Now we have games like League of Legends and Dota 2's coming out. So it's really interesting. And especially for Europe, it's really interesting to see, at least mainline Europe, with the fighting game community,
mm-hmm.
which we've been, doing fighting game esports at DreamHack, but it's been really, it's been small, it's been a niche, but we've been doing it because it's esports and it's good entertainment, and it's starting to take off now, really, even in mainland Europe.
All right. Well, listen, Robert, I really want to thank you a lot for taking the time to sit down with us. You're one of the guys that's really pushing esports as an individual, and it means a lot to talk to you. Do you have any final words, closing thoughts, shout-outs, or plugs that you would like to make? Just the mic is yours. Anything that you'd like to say to everybody listening and everybody that's going to see this interview?
Yeah. So, guys, first, everybody out there, you have to you have to experience like DreamHack once in your life.
That's so true. You really do.
Next DreamHack, proper DreamHack, is DreamHack Valencia, the 20th of September. If you have the chance, come by. I can say hi. I can write an autograph if you want to. And next shout out is to all the wonderful and awesome girls and boys at DreamHack that makes DreamHack possible. The guys that work at the office and our wonderful DreamHack crew, which are I'm not that big a person. I'm a genius by association. Thank you, guys.
All right, man. Well,
Are we done? Or?
Well, I mean, are you done is the question. Yeah. Any final words?
No, that was it.
Okay,
Cheers,
man.
guys.
Well, thank you, Robert. We really appreciate it. It means a lot that you've taken the time to talk to us, and I wish you all the best in the future. I know that I'll be attending more DreamHacks, and I cannot wait to see the next one.
See you at DreamHack, dude.
Take it easy, man. That was Robert Ohlen, genius by association, CEO of DreamHack. Thank you, Robert, for taking the time to sit down with us. Please keep doing what you do. DreamHack is an event that I look forward to all the time. Can't wait to see the next one. Keep it real.